Hey, this is Steve from VisualForge. I wanted to show the planner today within VisualForge. It's where you go to put your ideas together for future projects. And so we have this idea tab, and you can filter by the story type. So right now we have two types, inspirational and fiction. Under fiction, we have the genres listed here, and under inspirational we have these, and there's these basically ideas kind of tie everything together. If you look at one of the ideas, let's see if we try to find a thriller, this Echoes of Tomorrow, and we edit that. There's no cast for this idea yet, so we could just generate something from this and define the cast in the wizard in some other settings, or there might be a cast that we want to use over multiple stories. So in that case, you can create a new cast. So I wouldn't do the steampunk because it doesn't go with this time traveler thing, or actually it could. If I want to generate a new cast for this idea, because I don't have that many casts, I just got this steampunk girl and the steampunk punk cast. So where was I in this thriller? Echoes of Tomorrow. Edit. Generate cast from idea. Here's a couple ways you can automatically generate this, but you can see there Echoes of Tomorrow cast, so it automatically gives it the name of the idea, and then you'll be able to see the cast over here. We can take a look at that in a minute. I'll just save this and we can go over to casts, and you see that Echoes of Tomorrow. It has the characters listed here if you wanted to edit them. They don't have any images yet. This one isn't included. If I want to include her, I could click that. I don't want her in there, so I'm going to leave it like this. And these guys are all fine. And their descriptions will be relevant to the story. Like when it generates them, it keeps the story in mind. You know, this Echoes of Tomorrow. It's about a time traveler that has to repair the timeline. So if you go in and look at the characters, they're talking about the unknowingly connected to the future catastrophe, you know, and talking about the timeline. And so it's like it's smart enough, you know, to keep it relevant to the idea it's generating for. And then you can go in here and generate the portrait for them, or you could select one if you wanted to, and you can edit the gener. So this guy is Luke Alex's, so I could just update some of the information. You know, you could do the clothing style, the ethnicity, what color palette you want to use for probably the background, and the portrait style. I don't, for this demo, I'm not going to get to that level of detail. It's still generating this. All right, there it goes. This guy's super young. Oh yeah, Alex's son. So that's good. Click save. Yeah, so you kind of, you know, you're not just going to go through like I am now, just generating them all. Or you may have, and I may add some automation to generate groups like automatically. But it's kind of like something you wouldn't do that frequently because you'd be reusing these casts probably, or maybe you would do it frequently. So maybe when I generate these casts, I could add an option saying automatically generate characters, portraits, you know. Oh yeah, and then the other thing you can do is choose the voice as well. So
The years teach much which the days never know.
so this is kind of like good for this woman's voice, it seems, you know. And I'm gonna put gender female. She's a brilliant scientist, and it lists like some of the attributes here for quick reference, which is good. Let's go into the Guardian and give him his voice.
It is not so important to know.
Yeah, we can go with that. And then the kid voice.
Friends show their love in times of trouble.
That's a good kid voice, maybe. I don't know. It's kind of like the anime voice. We'll just roll with that. I just went through and finished populating all of the characters' images and voices. They're in this cast for Echoes of Tomorrow. Here's the list of characters. Like here, this is good. That okay. So we have the cast, title, description. We didn't talk about the preset yet. Here's all the presets. They're not grouped. They should be grouped, but they're not right now. So it's just a list of all the genres within each story type. And we're doing a thriller, so we'll just take the thriller preset, and we can't really edit that, so maybe we should make a copy. Because one thing I was just, I'm going to save this like that for now. But one thing I was noticing about the presets, I can't view these. I want to make a button where I can view these. But here's the inspirational. These are like the baseline. And here's thriller, the baseline presets. And this contains like the attributes of the story that are used in the prompt for generating the story and the images. And if you click this include character dialogue, then the story will have dialogue between characters. If you don't include that, then it'll be narrator only. So I haven't really looked into it yet, but it may cost more credits because you're doing more generations. We have 5 characters and they're all going to be talking, but I don't know. It'll probably be like just really 2 or 3 that are talking. And then you can select point of view. I think I'll leave this as any. I don't want to constrain the model too much, especially because of this dialogue. And there's tense. I'm going to leave that as any as well. There's a setting, and you can click suggest. I'll populate the setting. And I'm actually going to leave both of these out, or most of this stuff. I'd do the end. It's like a thriller. I gotta make it a tragic end. And then the story model, I'm gonna do this Nova Pro for better quality. In the image model, I'm going to go with the Sea Dream, which is the one that TikTok ByteDance creates. And then dark atmospheric visual style is good for the thriller. And the color theme, I will choose this. I like this gray scale or dark moody. I'll go with this. I haven't really tried that, but it sounds good. For thriller, I just want it to be dark. And then there's these different background music options, and you can write your own music too in the music lab. Those aren't appearing here yet. So for the thriller, I try something like kind of dark and disturbing. That sounds pretty good, right? Yeah, that sounds pretty good too. All right, oh shit, damn, that freaked me out. All right, I'm just gonna go with the anxious or what anguish. Last one made me kind of anxious. Okay, and then, okay, so it says thriller copy. I liked it to say thriller, and I to mention maybe the model. I might automate this name too a little bit. So say Sea Dream. I did the text model first, maybe, and then the image because that's the order they appear. Nova Pro Sea Dream, and this music. I don't like colons in the title for some reason. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, it just says thriller copy down here. Maybe that's just to indicate where it came from. So that's fine. And in my idea, going to thriller, I don't know why this is happening. Go to this thriller, and I want the thriller Nova Seedream. So say we like these settings, like we like the story and the ending, everything about it, the color scheme, all that stuff. Then we can use this preset all the time. So that's the good thing about that. And then the good thing about this cast, if we like this cast and the characters in it, then we can use these over and over again in different videos and make it like a series. And then you could even make, like, you could send these to AI and make older versions of them, like of this kid to make him grow up or something. Things like that. So it's really good for this whole planner with the presets and the characters and the cast and the ideas, like, are really good for consistency. And I think there's still a lot that could be done with this. If we want to use this and create a new video from it, we can schedule it, add to the scheduling queue. I'll cover that in another one. But if we click use here, we have the fiction, thriller, story, Nova Pro, dark atmospheric, dark moody, image model, sea dream, episodes. So you could create a series here. And what I'll do is create a book and an audio book, and then with chapters, and each chapter will become an episode in the series. I'm gonna keep it a single video right now. You can choose the narration voice. Let's click on this narration.
Nature is a mutable cloud, which is always and never the same.
The thing always happens that you really believe in.
Yeah, the Brian guy's pretty good.
You ever notice how silence can scream?
I have never been hurt by anything I didn't say.
Yeah, I'll stick with this Brian guy. I think that's what it was. And then, so if I came here, just through the standard wizard approach, or even if I edited some settings, I can save it to the back to the planner, with the updates, like if I change my model or something like that. So this kind of is also somewhat of an editor for the presets as and even the characters. If it's saved back to the cast, I don't think it does right now, at least, but it could be eventually. So click create project. And I showed this in another video. There's this production pipeline where it'll go through the process of creating the video. So it writes the story, and that happens over here in this story lab too. Like if you were to do it manually, or fill out the prompts for the story, and then you can have the story generated over there in a story lab. And so that gets passed to the service and then comes back. And so here's the editor for that, and you can go into the lab. Like I don't want to get too sidetracked, but yeah, basically that's the main thing I wanted to show was the planner. This is kind of another feature of like the project pipeline. So that's it for our video. Thanks for watching. Please visit visualforge.ai for more. And under fiction, thriller echoes of tomorrow.